my God. Those glasses, a killer. I love them.
Yeah, I did have them strobing, but then I got afraid. I thought I might have a seizure.
Now we're talking.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. It's my son Simon.
Well, very nice to meet you. How are you feeling about going to Elton John?
Great. I mean, yeah, this is my second time seeing him, so not as much as her, but yeah, I'm really excited.
So how many times have you seen Elton yourself now?
I started going to see him when I was in middle school.
Wow.
Back when parents dropped their kids off at concerts, and it was festival seating. And it was just like, get out of the car. Good luck. Hope you make it. And that was way before your time, but that was the early mid-70s. So I probably saw him in those years about 6 times. Every time he came to the Cap Center in D.C., I went to see him. And then when I lived in the New York area, I saw him a couple times. Giant Stadium, Shea Stadium, and a couple of times out here. I just saw him recently at a private party that my friends threw, and I was sitting, I should show you the video. I was literally 6 feet away. But I probably have seen him a dozen times.
Well, there we go. Well, moral of the story is that I want your mum's friends.
Yeah, totally, exactly. She was kind of a badass.
Amazing. So, Lindsay Lohan's just had a comeback. She's on Netflix. So how does that feel after all of these years to be back on the big screen? How does that feel for you to know that she's kind of back in that way?
I am really proud of her. I'm really excited for her. She's a sweetheart. We've been in touch a lot more lately because she's over here because promoting her show, her movie, and other projects that she's starting. I stayed in contact with her over the years, and mostly through her parents, through her dad, and we would talk on the phone here and there. But she's called me a couple of times recently, and I think she wants to know how to, really put her own stuff out there. And that's what I've been urging her to do. I'm like, stop waiting for people to give you a job and go buy properties and produce your own stuff, because you know what, she can do anything. I really believe in her.
Absolutely. Because it's so interesting. It's an interesting time for women because when she went a little bit off track, mentally, she wasn't able to come back. Versus the Robbie Downey Jr. You can just, get out of.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I fell asleep in someone else's bed.
Yeah.
I'm okay though.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. I think there's not a lot of forgiveness for women. And by the way, she was a kid. She was a kid. I have kids. This is I have identical twins born on the same day as the twins in the Parent Trap. He's one of them.
Oh my God.
And then I have 2 older ones. And I always say that with young people who make it so famous so quickly, especially with what this business is and sometimes the lack of oversight and the lack of protection, you give them a couple of years to really mess up. You really have to, because they're just trying to find their way. They're just trying to figure out how it is to be a human, a teenager, let alone a famous teenager. And I said this at the time, the access to the behind the velvet rope, to the VIP experience for a lot of people was through her. And what are they going to do? They're going to give her booze. They're going to give her, a little herbal refreshment. They're going to give her the worst stuff for her in order to gain access. So I think we need to have a lot more forgiveness for young people.
Absolutely, and it's also a good story to say that you actually can come back from anything, and that nothing is permanent, nothing is temporary, and everything can change for you for the better. So
yeah, I think that is a great story. Yeah. You said it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And Parent Trap 2. I mean, everyone's always. I mean, for years and years and years. Do you think it would ever happen?
It would be up to Nancy Meyers if she and Charles wanted to write something, because let's face it, it's kind of a difficult story for modern times anyway. You split up twins to live separately and they don't know about each other. Yes. So let's make that right off the bat, right? Yes. And now who just came? Somebody really famous, they're screaming. But anyway.
Like, is it Elton John? Yeah.
I don't know, is it? Because I will jump right over you.
I think it's Dua Lipa.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very fancy.
Yes, yeah.
You'll want to talk to her. Yeah. But anyway, it might happen. You never know.
And I just want to say, I know looks don't matter always, but you look exactly the same. You look exactly the same as you did 25 years ago.
Shucks. That's just good living and no alcohol and a lot of Botox.
There we go. Botox and no alcohol. So I'm doing both. So hopefully I look like you in 20 years.
You look great. So
thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Lisa. Enjoy the concert.
Thanks.